The university library buzzed with the quiet hum of late-night study sessions when Marcus first noticed her. She sat alone at a corner table, her delicate features illuminated by the soft glow of her tablet screen, her pointed ears and ethereal. Beauty marked her as one of the Elvari exchange students, but something about her posture suggested she was more than just another foreign scholar. Marcus had always been drawn to helping others, a trait that had earned him both friends and occasional trouble throughout his college years. Tonight, as he watched the young woman struggle with what appeared to be advanced quantum mechanics, equations, his helpful nature won out over his shyness. "Excuse me," he said softly, approaching her table. "I couldn't help but notice you're working on Professor Hamilton's assignment. Mind if I take a look?" The woman glanced up, revealing eyes that seemed to hold depths of starlight. Her expression was guarded, as if she wasn't accustomed to casual offers of assistance. "You would help a stranger?" "Why not?" Marcus shrugged, pulling out a chair. "We're all struggling through this stuff together, right? I'm Marcus, by the way." "I am called Lydia among your people," she replied carefully, "though that is not my true name." Marcus sensed there was more to her story, but didn't press. Over the next hour, he patiently walked her through the complex equations, breaking down the concepts into more manageable pieces. What surprised him wasn't her initial confusion, but how quickly she grasped the underlying principles once they were explained differently. "Your teaching methods are quite effective," Lydia observed as they wrapped up. "You explain things in ways our instructors back home do not." "Different perspectives, I guess," Marcus said. "Sometimes an outside view helps." As weeks passed, their study sessions became routine. Marcus discovered that Lydia possessed an incredible intellect, far beyond what her struggles in certain classes suggested. She seemed to understand concepts on an intuitive level that amazed him, yet she approached human mathematics and physics as if they were foreign languages. It was during their fourth week of meetings that everything changed. They were working late in the library's restricted section, where Lydia had somehow gained access to texts on theoretical physics that Marcus had never seen before. As she explained a concept about dimensional folding that seemed to come naturally, to her, her tablet suddenly lit up with symbols that definitely weren't human in origin. "Lydia," a voice spoke from the device in a melodious language that made Marcus's skin tingle. The woman's face went pale. "I must go," she said abruptly, gathering her materials. "Wait," Marcus said, reaching out to stop her. As his hand touched her arm, the world exploded into light. When his vision cleared, Marcus found himself standing in what could only be described as a throne room. Crystalline walls rose impossibly, high around them, and beings that looked like more regal versions of Lydia stood in elaborate robes, their expressions ranging from shock to outrage. "By the 7 stars," one of them breathed, "Princess Lydia has brought a human to the sacred chamber." Princess. The word hit Marcus like a physical blow. He looked at Lydia, who was now standing straighter, her entire demeanor transformed from nervous student to confident royalty. "Father," she said, addressing a tall figure whose crown seemed to be made of captured starlight. "I can explain." "There is no explanation for this breach of protocol," the king replied, his voice carrying the weight of centuries. "The human has seen too much. The council will demand his memory be wiped." "No," Lydia said firmly. "Marcus has helped me understand your people in ways our diplomatic corps never could. He has shown me kindness without knowing my station, shared knowledge without expecting payment, and treated me as an equal when I was struggling. These are the qualities we need to understand if we are to build lasting peace between our worlds." Marcus finally found his voice. "Your worlds?" The king studied him with ancient eyes. "Young human, you have befriended the heir to the Elvari, thrown during her mission to study your species. This was meant to be a covert observation, but it seems you have changed the nature of her assignment entirely." "Marcus," Lydia turned to him, her expression earnest. "My people have been watching humanity for decades, trying to determine if your species is ready for contact with the galactic community. Most of our observations have been from a distance, analyzing your wars, your environmental destruction, your tendency toward conflict. But you showed me something different. I just helped you with homework." Marcus said weakly. You helped a stranger without expecting anything in return, the king interjected. According to my daughter's reports, you have done this consistently, not just with her, but with many of your fellow students. You share knowledge freely, you show patience with those who struggle, and you treat all beings with respect, regardless of their apparent status. Another figure stepped forward, wearing robes that seemed to shimmer with their own light. The council has reviewed Princess Lydia's reports extensively. Her recommendation carries significant weight. What recommendation? Marcus asked. Lydia smiled, and for the first time since he'd known her, it reached her eyes completely. That humanity is ready for contact, and that certain humans should serve as cultural ambassadors between our peoples. The king nodded slowly. My daughter believes you possess the qualities necessary to help bridge our civilizations. Your natural inclination to help others, combined with your ability to learn and adapt, makes you an ideal candidate. Marcus, Lydia said, moving closer. I'm offering you a choice. You can return to your world with your memories intact, continue your studies, and live a normal human life. Or you can stay and begin training as an ambassador. Learn our ways, help us understand yours, and be part of the first formal contact between our species. Marcus looked around the impossible throne room, at beings who controlled technology beyond his imagination, at a princess who had disguised herself as a struggling student. What about my life back home? My family? My studies? Time moves differently. Here, the king explained. A year of training in our realm equals mere weeks in yours. You could complete your education here and return to find only a semester has passed on Earth. And when formal contact begins, you would be among the most qualified humans to represent your species. The weight of the decision pressed down on Marcus. Everything he thought he knew about reality had been shattered in the span of minutes. Yet as he looked at Lydia, he realized that the kindness he'd seen in her during their study sessions was genuine, just as his desire to help others was genuine. If I do this, he said slowly, what exactly would I be learning? Lydia's smile widened. Everything. Our technology, our culture, our history. But more importantly, you'd be helping us learn about the best aspects of humanity, the parts we couldn't see from a distance. Marcus thought about his small apartment, his part-time job, his ordinary life that had seemed so important just hours ago. Then he thought about the possibility of being part of something that would change both worlds forever. All right, he said finally. I'm in. The king's expression softened with what might have been approval. Then let your new education begin. Ambassador Marcus, you may find that helping one student has indeed changed your life forever. As the crystalline walls began to shimmer with new purpose, Marcus realized that his instinct to help others hadn't just earned him a friend. It had earned him a place in the future of two civilizations.